Hey, good afternoon, Stampin' Friends. This is Robin with Stamp with Dr. Robin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in San Diego, California, and I'm here today to kind of showcase something old, something new. The most exciting thing this week is that as demos, we got to order, and well, actually, I guess it was the week before, but I just got in this week my pre-order from our new catalog. So that's pretty exciting. And I'm going to showcase some of the new in colors with you, as well as showcase one of our great stamp sets that's going to be retiring. So don't forget that. And then also to remind you of a couple things. One is tomorrow, or actually midnight Mountain Time, whatever that is for your time, there's going to be a refresh to the clearance rack. So we never know what that means. Usually it means there's a ton of new stuff, but it goes fast because people just snap it up because sometimes it's amazing deals. Second thing is I have space for one more person. If anybody wants this Saturday and lives in San Diego, wants to come do a class using the Simply Succulent bundle. We're going to be making, usually we make 4, actually this time we're going to make 5 cards, so that's a surprise for everybody who already signed up using the Simply Succulent bundle. And it'll be outside and we can socially distance, etc. So if you're interested, let me know. And then the other thing is I'm having an open house for our annual catalog April 30th and May 1st, and I want people to sign up so that we can space it out, and we'll be doing at least one make and take, and you can see cards and such made from the beautiful new product. So I know you didn't turn into to watch me blabber on about this, so I'm going to turn you down and we're going to hopefully make a card here. So here we go. Oh, actually, you know what? I forgot. Before we make a card, I wanted to talk about our new lovely in colors. So here we go with that. I'm going to do that first. And so here are our new in colors, and we'll see if I can actually name them because I'm still getting used to our names. This is Pale Papaya, Fresh Freesia, Polished Pink, Soft Succulent, and Evening Evergreen. So they are just so pretty here. And I thought what I'd do, since you've seen, maybe if you like to watch videos, lots of other people doing things like unboxing their new stuff, but what I haven't seen a whole lot of is showing people how these new colors kind of compare to our other existing colors. So I thought I'd do them one by one. So first we have Pale Papaya. It's kind of a peachy color. I didn't go back and pull out all sorts of old colors, but I thought I'd compare them to colors that we have right now. So this is, and how they go and how they're different. So this is Mango Melody, brighter but kind of in the same family. I like actually the two together. This is Calypso Coral. Definitely goes well with this and for the pansies especially. This is Pumpkin Pie. And then the other one that seems to kind of be in the same tone, but you see much more peachier than our Petal Pink. And then it's not really like any of the other pinks at all. And if you wanted to see it with a couple yellows, because it does have a little yellow undertone, that's So Saffron. And this is the Bumblebee. So you can see it's kind of different from all of those. And then the next color would be the the Fresh Freesia. And even though I know this is going away, I knew somebody would say, how does that go with the Purple Posy? And you can see it's much redder a purple. Still kind of light, a little more gray, but definitely redder. And then here are the two purples that we have right now, the Highland Heather and the Gorgeous Grape. Again, a little bit redder than either of those also. Honestly, I think the Purple Posy went better with those two, but we've had to say goodbye to that. And then the next one would be Polished Pink. Just when you didn't think we needed another bright pink, we've got another bright pink. So this is it compared to Melon Mambo and the Magenta Madness. A little, I don't know, kind of a little more salmonier in there maybe. I'm not sure what the color is that makes them definitely look different. And then we have Soft Succulent. And when I first heard the name of this, I thought, oh, it's going to be exactly like Just Jade, but it isn't at all. So here's the Just Jade that now looks way greener, and this looks like it has more kind of a grayish undertone in it. And then this is it compared to Mint Macaron. Someone was asking me about the difference there. So Mint Macaron, definitely much lighter a color. This one has, like I said, more gray in it too. And I'm going to leave this out because they're both green, but this is the Evening Evergreen, which is really like a hunter green color. And we did have a hunter green color a long time ago, I guess, before I started being a demo. Oh, I forgot to say, I got my little 5-year anniversary pin from Stampin'Up, but forgot to bring it in here. Anyway, so this is Garden Green, goes very nicely with that. And I thought, oh, maybe it's closer to Shaded Spruce because that's so dark, but wow, not at all. Not at all the same. And then this is Mossy Meadow. So these are all our darker greens. And it definitely has more blue, so I went back and pulled out my Pretty Peacock, which is again going away, one of my favorite colors. And it sure doesn't look anything like that. So it's definitely, I mean, I didn't think we needed another green, but it's definitely a beautiful color. It'll be really, really nice, I think, for holiday cards. It goes really, really well with the Soft Succulent. So again, here's all 4 colors together. And I really like the way they go together, especially these ones that are softer. The Polished Pink's a lot brighter, but these are a lot softer, and these are actually the colors we're going to use today to make a card. So I thought I'd pull out, you know, still working through my sadness of different things going away. So I thought what I'd do is pull out the Dandelion Wishes, which I think is a wonderful card set for, I mean, you can use it for almost anything. The sentiments are more kind of for, you know, when you need sentiments for get well, etc. But this one, I made into a thank you card with it. And you'll notice those four colors that I was talking about in here. So let's get going making this card. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to be embossing this large dandelion. So let's bring in, I'm going to move this out of the way. All right. So let's bring in all the embossing goodies. Whoops, moving around here a little too much. All right, so even though Stampin' Up! Says you don't need an embossing buddy anymore, I still like to use mine. So I'm not sure what's in here, if it's some sort of, I mean, it's obviously some sort of powder. You could probably do this with cornstarch, but I've also heard of people doing that same kind of wiping off the cardstock with a used dryer sheet. So this is our Versamark. Versamark it up really good. I did notice when I was doing this before that I was getting some edges around in here. So I'm just going to kind of take a good look. See any problem with it. And we'll make a good firm stamp on there. You guys are going to have a little bit of a hard time seeing this because we're doing white on white. See, I just pour my embossing powder into this little plastic tub that you get 3 for $1 at the dollar store. Makes it so much easier to use because you can get the whole thing in here like that. I usually douse it a couple times. These cute little spoons, aren't those adorable? Not sure where I got those, but hi guys, hi Kathy, hi Janelle, hi Beatrice. And then I have one of these old water painters, and see that's a little stray mark. So I just like to go through that and get all the little marks off before I emboss. Like I said, I'm not quite sure you guys can even see that, but let's warm up that heat gun. Yow. Okay, let's not hold it there. Warning, heat guns get very hot. This is one of those magic things. So this technique that we're going to do today is called Emboss Resist, because hopefully you can see how it's all shiny everywhere. The ink will not stick to where you embossed. And what we're going to do is we are going to use our wonderful new blender brushes. And this is our pale papaya. Put on my name from here, and hopefully you all know to do this, but there's a blank one that's down at the bottom, and that goes for in here, because sometimes if you're using like 2 or 3 yellows, oranges, whatever, it looks exactly the same. All right. Anyway, so using our blending brushes, what I like to do is take a little color. Now when you first start using them, you know, you got to put a lot of color on because it doesn't quite get it. And then I always kind of go off on the side like that. And you know, you can always get more, because obviously, even though I said get a lot, I still wasn't getting a lot. And what I'm trying to do is just do a bunch of little areas and then kind of blend them together. And I'll start from the outside because I kind of like getting that outside edge pretty good too. And I always pounce it off somewhere. Some people I've seen use like a little block to put it on so that you don't waste the ink over here. But the pouncing like that, as well as starting off the edge and coming on, are my 2 little hints on how to not get those little boogers of blobs that you don't want. And that just, and also just going slower. We tend to want to just stamp it and get going here, but you know, if you go too fast, you'll get those blobs in places that you don't want them. So you can see how it's coming to life. And then the other thing, after you're done with whatever color, is just do this till it's going clear. And what I do is I have one blending brush for each of the color families. So this will be my yellow orange blending brush, and now we'll go with our fresh freesia and all the purples. So I bought a few packages of these, and then every now and then you're supposed to wash them out. And then you'll notice how incredibly light this looks. came out even softer than I was thinking it was going to. And, you know, of course you can always put more color on and make it darker, but I was kind of going for a soft look. So I really like that. Leaving a little room for my soft succulent. I don't know, I find this kind of therapeutic. You know, they are not having the sponges anymore in the new catalog, in case you didn't notice that. For those of you who like to sponge, better get your sponge on pretty soon. But I'm kind of just get the color out so next time I go to use this, it's not getting fresh Frisian somewhere I don't want it. And then last but not least, our soft succulent. And of course, every time you do this, it's going to look a little different here. See, you wouldn't want that blobby thing on your card, right? So that's why we're blobbing it off over here before we get it on. And I intentionally decided I was going to have a little less green on this card than I did on the last one, because it's the other two colors that I really like the look of. Keep going, keep going. And you can blend it as much as you want or don't want into the other colors. Kind of a pretty color when you blend the papaya in there. And then it didn't seem to matter too much on this, but sometimes the ink will really stick on and you can actually see it. And if you just take a Kleenex and rub, see how you can just see the, see over here there was some green that really stuck onto that, and now it's a little bit more vibrant. Isn't that pretty? So now next is, these are, oh, I forgot to say, these are the nesting dies. Yeah, the stitched nesting dies, and shock of shocks that they're going away too. But they are. So I decided I just had to use them one more time. So this is the same exact size, and this is a little trick I like to use with all of my punches, because, you know, the punches only come in one size, and I didn't really want a big, you know, area around here. I just wanted a little peak. Plus is this is the, I think, the biggest die, and I didn't want it to stick up the cards. So you just cut this down the middle, and you can see it doing it with my scissors because it really doesn't matter. And then we're going to add it to the side like that, and then we have it sort of framed. Isn't that cool? And like I said, I do this with a lot of my punches also. So get a little glue. You don't want it all the way to the edge because that's what's going to stick out, and you see the little stitching. Well, you're going to want to see that. And then just line it up. See how it doesn't really matter how you cut it, because really people aren't going to be able to see it. And same thing over here. Oh, before I do that, I forgot that I had a little sentiment down here. So the sentiment I'm going to stamp in the Evening Evergreen, and this one that I'm using is again from one of the new stamp set. It's called Etched in Nature, and I'll show you at some other time some of the other images, but I just thought that cute little thank you would make it work right, just right in the corner there. Let's get those little edges off. Straight enough. And so let's put this, before it's totally dry, on this edge. And since I have my little evening evergreen out, isn't that cute? Oh, I think I need to push this in just a little bit. And this is why we like having the glue, because it just slid right down there a little bit. While I have my evening evergreen out, I'm going to stamp the inside, and this is just 5 by 3 3/4 with another one of the stamps from the Dandelion Wishes. Whoops, I guess it's going to go that way. And I'll close that up, and because that's pretty much all the stamping. You could also stamp this on, you know, your matching envelope. Stuff on my finger. This is the problem with me and the dark inks, is I tend to get that's always what I'm getting on my finger, nothing else. All right, let's get some dimensionals on the back here, because we are going to need them. It's a big piece. All right, so that's ready, inside's ready. Now we're going to use our papaya, because isn't that pretty with it? And this is just a regular piece that's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Get that fold really good, and then lo and behold, this is the paper that we're using. Now this, you're like, what the heck is this? That is from our Pansy Petal paper pack. And I am just going to stop for a second to show you that, because it's so incredibly beautiful. And I thought maybe you'd like a little sneak peek of it. So consider this like your little intermission, interlude, because I think this is going to be my favorite paper in there. So you've got this one that's just all pansies, and then the back, whoops, I've already smushed it. The back is just a lovely background. The yellow in here is bumblebee. Then you got some leaves, and actually the dies will cut the leaves out for you. And then another exciting thing is we've got multiple on the backs of these gingham. So this is some soft succulent gingham, and I think on the back of this one, fresh freesia gingham. And this is really cool because the dies for the pansies cut out all of these, and I actually took another little hint here. I actually took both pieces of this paper and I put them together, and I cut out little sections. And then I use the dies to cut both pieces of paper at the same time. And it totally worked perfectly, because they'll cut through 2 pieces of the DSP just perfectly. You just have to keep making sure it's all lined up before you do a cut. Anyway, that's the paper that we're using, and that's the back of it. Pretty green, can be used for some really nice masculine cards. Another just gorgeous, like, frameable paper with some more gingham on the back. So that is going to be such fun. So that's another sneak peek for you. But for right now, we're going to use this paper. This DSP is cut 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And then the Evening Evergreen is just a 1/8 of an inch bigger. So this is 4 by 5 1/4, the Evening Evergreen. And then we can put that. Oh, of course we're gonna run out. Oh, maybe not. On here. Isn't that just lovely? These colors go so well together. Might as well put this on the inside. Just watch when you cut this paper, you know, which way you want to be doing stuff. Oh, and someone's decided they're going to run a blower right outside my door. Great. Okay, so next step is this Luscious Ribbon. So this ribbon comes in all of the beautiful colors. So this is the soft succulent. I know you want to see them all. This is the pale papaya. This is the fresh freesia. I keep wanting to call it lavender something because that's what it seems to me. This is the polished pink. And this is the Evening Evergreen. And it ties some beautiful bows that are really easy because it's very flexible. And it's two-sided ribbon, so it will, you know, be pretty no matter how you tie it, which side. And it reminds me of a few years ago in the celebration, we had a ribbon package that people went nuts for, and it reminds me of that. I think it's the same ribbon. So on this one, I just used some soft succulent, and I just made a little Z like that. So what I'm going to do is take my Stampin' Seal Plus, and I'm going to just run it kind of down right where I'm going to need it. And it's going to be underneath this, so you won't see it. But I think this will help stick it really well. See how well that sticks? And then this is just going to go over it. Once you remove the million little things that end up all everywhere. Where's the weirdest place you guys have found these in your house? Because, you know, once you're done, it's somewhere. I'll have to tell you, one night I took my clothes off and one was stuck in my bra. That's my weirdest place. So you want to make sure these little edges are, am I straight? I guess so. Now the very last thing I want to do is I had a little ladybug. Remember the ladybugs? I had a little ladybug on here from the other one. And I'm thinking on this one, I'll give you all another little sneak peek. And instead of the ladybug, we'll put the little bee. So what do you think of the bees? You guys like the bees? And they stick on really well just using a glue dot, just like the ladybugs did. And they're not really high profile, so I think they'll even go through the mail pretty well. And they're just glue dot size. I think those Stampin' Up! People have gotten so smart about how they do these things so that they're just exactly the right size for a glue dot. And I think the bee looks adorable. So which one you like better, the bee one or the one with the little new, or the old ladybug or the new bee? Either way, you can't go wrong, right? All right, so that's our card for the day. Oh, I wanted to show you too. This is another card that I made a long time ago because this is the glossy paper and a color that we don't even have anymore. But again, this is using the stitch shapes that are going away and the Dandelion Wishes. So if you like these guys, like I said, you can use them for almost any kind of card, birthday cards. I tend to use a lot of them for sympathy or get well kind of cards. If you need anything, here's my host code, and don't forget to go check out my blog, stampwithdrrobin.blogspot.com, because what I've been doing is showing these cards the next day so that you all can see measurements, and if you I'll upload the video and such. So I'm going to pull you back up just to say goodbye, and thanks for coming and watching. Whoops. And hopefully you guys are gonna place a nice order when you can for this stuff, because the in colors are gorgeous. So thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Judy, for stopping by, and thank you for your nice words. And see you next week, 1 o'clock Pacific time next Monday. Thanks. Bye.